let me ask you a question. How would you like to be able to attract infinite abundance and success? So you can achieve your goals and dreams, have a more successful business, and achieve anything you possibly desire. Well, I'm here with Patricia Whyte, and she's a #1 best-selling author of the book Global Conscious Entrepreneurs, and she is a success, abundance, feng shui, and diamond dowsing expert. And I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled to be here with Patricia because she has so much to share about how you too can manifest your dreams through her special feng shui methods. So, Patricia, please tell us what process or what system does someone need to follow so they can attract more of their goals and dreams?
Yes, thank you, Lily, so much. I'm so grateful to be here to share with you the process in which I use for myself and I also help my clients with in attracting infinite abundance and success. So the first thing is to understand what you want. What do you want in your life? What do you want in your business? What do you want? Finding out that exact idea within you is important. Without knowing exactly what you want, you wander around in a forest and you get lost. So, it's like understanding what it is that you want is it's like the being a boat, a sailboat, and you've got a rudder at the bottom of that sailboat. That rudder keeps the sailboat in the direction that it needs to go. So that's what knowing what you want is so, so important. But I'm going to just back up one more step. Before knowing, it's important to ask. Ask what it is that you want in your life. Like, for example, if you come across a situation, let's say it's a cross in the road, ask for help. But it's not only asking for help, it is also acting on what you are given in that moment. Ask and act. And then the second thing would be to know what you want based on what you've been given. And then you know what you want. The third thing that is so important when you want to attract the success that you want, to attract the abundance, the infinite abundance, it is to write down what you know that you want. Those 3 steps are the way to having infinite abundance and success.
Very interesting. I've manifested many things that seemed improbable, that seemed unlikely to happen. So, and I find that every time I'm in a very good state, when I'm healthy and when I'm, exercising and I'm eating well and I'm happy for no reason at all, that's when I find it very easy to manifest. And my question is, what kind of state do we need to be in order to make sure that we manifest better, that we manifest basically in alignment with our true self, and we don't manifest things we actually do not desire? What I'm talking about is, have you ever experienced either being depressed or sad or, having a quarrel with your work colleague or something, and having that, you can say, enable you to manifest negatively even more bad situations in your life? And of course, we don't want that, right? So what kind of state do we need to be in order to optimize that manifestation and to attract more of what we truly desire?
It's a really great question, because this is, one of the areas that can trip us up. completely trip us up because, well, I won't go into the because, I'll go into what the solution is. The solution is to immediately recognize, I don't need this right now, and let it go and find another place in your mind to go to. Like, for example, well, I mean, forgiveness is the first thing, forgive whatever that was, and then allow something new to come in. That's one way of doing it. But there might be a lot of people out there that don't know how to forgive. So, an easy step, which eventually you'll have to get through the forgiveness part. But an easy, quick step is to just let go of whatever it is. If you stumped your toe, say, okay, I stumped my toe, shake it off, keep on walking, and find a happy thought to replace that not so happy event that happened in your life. The moment that we fill that space with a happy or an experience that brought us joy, or a gift that someone has given to us, that is the moment that we transform that event into a positive attracting, an abundant and successful attracting of whatever it is that we do want.
Very interesting. And how can we make sure that, for example, we don't manifest narcissists and scammers and people that take advantage of us? How can we kind of like get rid of those people, and ensure that we manifest supportive people and kind people and things that are on our path that help us towards our dreams rather than trip us up?
Yes, yes. Oh, what a wonderful question that is. Because, all of us would like to take those people and, whatever capacity that they are, and remove them, just completely remove them. But I want to tell you that does not end the line by removing them. I mean, physically, yes, we can remove ourselves from a situation. But in some cases, like a hacker, we can't just remove it. It takes a moment. It takes a moment because, it is all about the mindset. It is all about the mindset and recognizing what I am doing within myself. For me personally, I've gone through the process of not attracting how can I say this? The not so happy people, the people who want to create harm to us. I've gone through a process of releasing, these people from being in my life because I forgave. This is going into the forgiveness idea, but I forgave myself and I forgave that person who was in my life that was presenting themselves in such a manner. Because, and I forgiveness is the key, really. Forgiveness is the key to attracting the infinite abundance and success that you truly want to have. So, there are shortcuts. You can do a shortcut, but eventually you have to go to the forgiveness side. And through fully forgiving, if you have had this in your life for long periods of time, forgiveness is the key to get through that. And, hiring someone like myself who can help navigate these challenging waters is a wonderful thing to do if you've had this in your life for many years, or if you have, I don't know, grown up with it in your life. Hiring someone like myself who is compassionate and understanding and who have gone through a situation similar to that, to where that transformation took place, and now infinite abundance and success are coming to me. And so therefore I can show you how to do that as well.
Thank you so much for that. And what would you say, what kind of impact does it have, for example, being able to remove, narcissists and scammers and obstacles, what impact does that have on us being able to manifest our goals and dreams and attract infinite abundance and success?
Yes, wow, that's an incredible question. So if you can imagine that when you stump your toe, that small thought can change your whole day. It can create more pain in that day. And that's only stumping your toe a whole day. That's, 12 or 24 hours of pain and suffering that you didn't have to deal with. You didn't have to go through. If you would have switched your mind off of that pain and went straight to, I'm happy, and think about a positive event in your life that creates happiness for you. So if you can imagine that one small stumped toe compared to an abusive relationship or a narcissistic person that causes you pain in your life, if you stay in that relationship, allowing that event to take place in your life, it's going to be, because that's not a quick trip. That's not a transformational, let me grab some, goodness from someone who has brought great things into my life to transform that. It's going to take something much bigger because that person is in your life. And without making changes physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that experience permeates the whole being of yourself. It's like a glass window or a glass ceiling that's above your head, and you can't get past it. And trust me, I know what that feeling is. And the only way to do it is to transform the experience of whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That seems such a deep thing that you said. My question is, as book publisher and personal brand strategist, my mission is to empower the world. My mission is to help as many people as possible. But I have this fear, okay? And my fear is, how do I make sure that I support people who genuinely want to help people and not narcissists, not people that, turn out to be narcissists later on and maybe I haven't noticed, right? And I'm very intuitive as a person, but what I've found a lot of times is that I put so much heart into everything I do, and I want people to be successful, and I just want to help. And I think it's so easy for people to take, for example, my kindness for weakness. It's so easy. And how do I make sure that, to achieve my goals and dreams, which are to empower 100 million people to be happier, to go after what they want, to share their stories, and to create wealth? How do I make sure that I, don't attract narcissists in my way and obstacles and people who don't see the fact that I'm just aiming to give love, and that I'm in just there to support. Even when I say, change this picture because it doesn't look good and use this other one, which enhances you better, right? I say that with love, even that. So how do I make sure that I encounter more people that are supportive and more people that I deserve, you can say, to be helped by me, and not, people that will ultimately stab me in the back, for example?
Yes. So that is another really great question. So if you can take the information I've already shared with you, but we're going to add to that information, because through my own journey, learning feng shui, and now being a practitioner, a expert feng shui practitioner, as well as a dowser, a diamond dowser, through the process of incorporating these two ideas into my life, it made the changes occur that I didn't attract that personality in my life. So in feng shui, there are a number of different ideas, but I'll give you just one tip that will help in having the support in your life that you deserve. You deserve this. So one of the things is that you always face the door. Wherever it is in your office, you face the door. If you have your back to the door, it leaves your back vulnerable to being stabbed in the back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So always, doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're having lunch with your best friend. Doesn't matter if you're meeting with a new client. Doesn't matter if you're on a date with your boyfriend or your husband, even if they're in, because guys are a bit like they got to see the door. Well, I guess you should sit together on the same side so you both can see the door, because this is how important that one thing is, because you need to see all the abundance coming to you. But it also keeps the people who are not on your side, you get to see them. You see them clearly because you see them coming through your door, right? That's just one tip. There are a million. Well, I don't know about a million. Okay, there are a plethora of other tips that, as a feng shui expert, I can share to help you create that change that you deserve. But on top of that, there are many different levels in dowsing, because it's not just dowsing to be dowsing. It's dowsing your home to create a positive atmosphere, to create no stress zones, no negative frequencies in your house. So that when you're in your office, you're facing the door, there's no negative electrical, there's no negative
frequency, or
I want to say Wi-Fi, but there's another word for that that's coming into your space. There's no negative earth challenges that are coming into your room, your office. So that gives you the ability to truly, stand and know exactly who's there. You see everything. Yeah. Was that helpful?
Yeah, very helpful. I will ask you a bit more questions about dowsing in a second. But my next question is, what is the impact of self-esteem on being able to attract infinite abundance and success? So if we have low self-esteem, for example, how can we make sure that we still overcome that and attract infinite abundance and success?
Yeah. So the ability to know what you want. Okay. So these steps that I shared earlier are the result of my own self-esteem, or more along the lines of self-empowerment.
Okay.
Self-empowerment, because that's, for women, this is a really huge thing. So the steps I gave: asking for help, acting on that help, but it is also knowing what you want. This helps our self-esteem so much. It, when you ask and you act, then you get clearer the information to know what you want. And when you know what you want, it's like your self-esteem is raised so that you walk your path. In addition to writing it down even more empowers us. It empowers us to know that I am here. I am here and now, and I deserve the goodness that God, the universe, wants for me to have. Because you deserve that. You deserve that.
Very interesting. And what about for people that maybe feel like they're not worth it? You know, like people that grew up with this opinion of themselves that they are not worth it. How can they still achieve their goals and dreams?
Yes. Well, I'm going to raise my hand. Yes, that would be me as a child. That would be me as a child. You know, the by the grace of God, I am here, to be quite honest. By the grace of God. I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine a couple of days ago. You know, most people who have had to experience the life experiences I've had don't get to this place. They don't get to meet Marie Diamond. They don't get to work with Lily. You know, they stay in those spaces. So, you know, again, I'm going to take us back to how I got out of that dark hole. I asked for help. I continued to ask for help. I acted on what was given me. I then learned what I wanted and I then wrote it down. And I've been writing things for years and years and years. You just have no idea. And I have brought myself to this place that I understand. I understand those people because that was me. That was me in that dark hole. It was so dark I couldn't see the light. I couldn't see the light.
Wow. And what, I mean, after the three steps that you mentioned, was there anything else that you do to empower yourself, like maybe affirmations or, I know, exercise or smiling to yourself in the mirror? Or do you do any
Yes.
other techniques that, simple techniques that the audience can implement?
Yes, yes. So I do write my goals. I write them every year. I,
Mhm.
I, and I teach my clients how to write the exact goal that will attract to them infinite abundance. Because there is an art to writing goals. Because I've perfected it. um, reading, reading those goals, so important. Every day, twice a day, if you want to make it happen faster. Um, and there are so many more things that I could offer. But of course, we only have a few minutes. But those two tips, those are the two I would offer everybody. And you think they're simple, but I'm telling you, very powerful.
I appreciate that. I think one technique that, for example, I've used is doing some affirmations, but I do think that there are ways to do the affirmations in that works a little bit better, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
someone was telling me about how if you say thank you for helping me do X, Y, and Z, and then you put what you want to see happen in your life, you put that as if it has already happened. Thank you for helping me, I don't know, manifest this amazing house with a pool in Paddington, in London, and so on. I think that seems like an interesting way to say it. Although I don't do it like that. I usually just say, for example, I am statements. So what would you say is better? Is it better to say an I am statement, like, for example, I am powerful, I am influential, I am lovable, I am
Mm,
loved,
mm,
things
mm.
like that? Or would you say, thank you for, is that a better technique for saying an affirmation that empowers you better and has better results in terms of manifestation?
Yes, that is a wonderful question. And I want to tell you, I was trained by the best. I was trained by the best to create these affirmations and goals, because goal is an affirmation. And um, thank you, I use every minute of the day. When someone does even the slightest little thing, thank you. When they respond to a message that I've sent to them, thank you. Thank you is a very powerful word, two words. Um, But when you are doing a affirmation and when you are uh, creating a goal, I am is more powerful. And there's a whole, there's a whole another hour on that discussion, but I am and flow it with whatever comes after that. And I have, that's part of one of the tips I use for writing goals, but it is also what the rest of that sentence is included. Yeah, what all of it that is included and how it's just, yeah. But that's a wonderful question. I am will make it happen much quicker.
Okay, thank you so much. And what about diamond dowsing? What is dowsing exactly? I mean, you expressed it a little bit earlier, but I think it's important for people to understand what actually is dowsing. So you mentioned about the stress lines and the, earth lines and the frequency and the negative frequency. So what is it and how it can help people and how you can help people with dowsing?
Yes, so diamond dowsing is an incredible art that Marie, of course, taught me and teaches. It is not just finding the stress lines that are in the earth, that are man-made electrical, that line up and create health problems for us.
Mm-hmm.
The air that we are in, the environment that we are in, it's just, many different levels of stress lines that come, like geopathic stress lines are of the earth. And it's where there's a break in the ground. Not to go into a lot of depth, but the other stress lines are somewhat like this. But it's not just finding them. It is finding them and curing them. Like I get to fix them. I can take and fix them, which is an amazing thing because before Marie came to this information, it wasn't out there at all. So it is truly a gift. What she's offering to our world is a gift because it helps people to not be sick.
Mm.
I know the difference in my house. Like it's been part of this transformation of my empowerment. Um, the stress lines that I've found in my home, huge numbers of stress lines. But there are many levels of this, and the basic level is taking care of these stress lines that I just shared. And each level takes care of another stress line as you go further up. And as you incorporate this into your home, it gives you a space to be completely free of outside interferences, outside stresses. So it's like you're in a bubble. It's like you're in a bubble and you can live and work and do everything without having any stress in your life, which means there are no obstacles to keep you from achieving the infinite abundance that you desire in your life.
Oh, very interesting. So let me ask you a question because I think it would be quite relevant for property investors. So would you say that, let's say if I have a home and let's say I want to sell it or I want to rent it, or I just want to have better health while I'm living in this property,
Yep.
or maybe my tenants, I want them to be healthy so they can pay the rent on time, right? So they can have a good business and stay there forever.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
say that if we hire you to do dowsing for the property, which means that you are going to come in, you're going to measure, I mean, not measure, but you are going to sense the frequency, where the frequency is interfering in a negative way, and you're going to put some rods, I'm not sure if they're made of aluminum or something, you're going to put some rods that will, in a way, balance out the energy so that everything starts flowing. Would you say that that could have an impact in terms of being able to sell the house, sell the property faster, or maybe having better health for the tenants living there? Or if I'm living there, will I have better health, or will my business flow better? What could happen? Let's say if we hire you to do dowsing for a particular property.
Yes, that is a wonderful question, Lily, because everything that you said is all possible with a dowsed property.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell a property if it's dowsed. You're going to attract the person that deserves, goodness to be on that property, whether you're whatever it is that that property is for. It helps everyone that lives there to be healthy. It helps them to have better relationships. Oh my gosh. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but if you have an electrical stress line on your bed as you're sleeping, it's going to make you cranky. I mean, we're pretty, basic beings, and food, water, all this is important to our well-being. But when we have a stress line that runs over our bed, our desk chair, wherever it is that we spend a lot of time, when that line is running constantly over, periods of however long it is that you're in that bed, years, or in that chair, years, that stress comes through your body and it creates um, health impacts. It's a huge, health issue. But it also makes us cranky, makes us not to have good relationships. It just is very impactful. What I have experienced in my own life, in my business, by having my property doused to not, well, to like the highest level. There's nothing that I, I can, if there's a goal that I want to achieve, I'm gonna achieve it. If it's within, my purpose that the universe and God has given to me, then it's going to be done.
Interesting. And how do we know that, let's say we hire you to do the dowsing for a property, how do we know that it actually worked, as opposed to like not doing anything at all?
Yes, yes. Everyone who I have worked with always has a change. It may be whatever that most challenging thing in their life is, usually changes after that. It sometimes it changes like within 30 minutes. I mean, like, the difference is so great. It's amazing. Um, maybe the relationship changes within 30 minutes. It's that it's it's tangible immediately.
Wow. Okay. Sounds really, really amazing. Thank you
It
so
is
much, Patricia, for this interview. If people were to contact you, where could they reach out so they can book you for dowsing and feng shui consultations?
Yes, thank you. Well, I have a website, www.patriciawhyte, WHYTE.com. I have social media that's related to Patricia Whyte, feng shui, Patricia Whyte, feng shui, Instagram, um, let's see, LinkedIn. And of course, you can email me, info@patriciawhyte.com. And yes, so that's how you can connect with me.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much, Lily, for having me today. I'm so grateful for your questions and your curiosity and interest. And I just know that these tips that I've given to you are gonna help you to be that infinite, abundant person that you are, because you totally are. I'm, yeah, very, very excited for you.
Thank you.